What's up? What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? This is Brandon Ruckus Podcast. I'm your host, Davon. This is a podcast where we talk about the latest and greatest in music and the latest greatest on the court. Right now, I have with me Pete with Nets the Fans You Know podcast. So, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me on. Like you just said, my name's Pete. Just to introduce myself to your audience, I have a podcast called Net Fans You Know. It's about 5 years deep. I'm on YouTube. I talk to former players, team beat writers, anyone kind of associated in Nets lore, and just different NBA analysts. My last episode, I just had Nets legend Tim Capstra, who does the radio and is on the Yes Network covering the team. You can check that out on my YouTube channel.
That's what's up. I was checking y'all a little bit. I seen you had someone on there who was the analyst and stuff. I was like, all right, that's what's up. It's dope to have analysts on there. So I do gotta ask you before we start the podcast. I always ask my guests and stuff. Since I do want to talk about music a little bit more, what you listen to in the car? What you listen to lately?
Oh man, people are gonna give me so much. Can I curse?
I don't care. I mean, you're wrong.
Yeah, you're gonna give me so much shit for this, but I'm a huge Drake fan. I'm a huge Drake fan.
Mhm.
I started listening to him when he was. I used to watch Degrassi as a little kid, and I just jumped into it from there. And I love the music, and uh, I think I've bought almost every album. Like I'm just a huge Drake fan. I like Jay. I like a little bit of R&B, but if I one artist, Drake for sure.
All right, we're about to end the podcast right now.
Yeah, I figured you'd say it.
I'm just messing with you. No, I never got into Drake. I try getting to Drake a lot of times, but I mean, I don't know what it is. It's just not for me. Like, I don't hate him or anything. I don't really. There's no music artist or anybody in general I hate like that. But I just never got into him. I don't know what it is, but
I
it
like
is
the
what it
melody.
is. He do have some nice songs. I like what's it called Sicko Mode. Him and Travis Scott. Some of his futures and stuff. He really go hard with. But some of his soul stuff, I don't know what it is. Just never got into
It's
him.
not for everybody. You know what I mean? To
No,
each your own.
no, I definitely feel that, but I'm definitely not judging because I listen to a lot of weird stuff. So,
Drake is weird.
no, I'm saying I
Oh my
look at weird
god.
stuff, so I can't say nothing. I'll be in here listening to Yo Yo Ma and Chinese traditional music sometimes, so
I
I don't
got
judge
you. I
anybody
got
for their
you.
music taste.
So let's go. Let's talk some basketball. Let's go.
Oh
What
yeah,
do
yeah,
you
we
want to
can talk
ask
about
me, man?
basketball there. So the Nets, bad team right now. What is your expectations of the Nets right now? They're rebuilding, don't got much. No one really knows nothing about the Nets. So what are you expecting this year?
Nobody knows nothing about the Nets. You guys are
Just
killing
keeping
me.
it real.
Just killed me. My podcast, Net Fans You Know. The name of it comes from people say Nets don't have any fans. So that whole thing is, like playing on that joke. So I get what you're saying. The team's rebuilding now. You just saw them take 5 draft picks, highly controversial, highly historical. It's never happened before, and it's a mix of veterans, young guys, and let's face it, they're gonna suck this year. They're trying to get
Mhm.
a high pick. Joe Tsai, the owner, was just interviewed, and he basically said that they're gonna rebuild this year, and they're gonna focus on that draft pick. So we're not expecting much.
No, I definitely felt it. I'm a Pistons fan, so our team was horrible for a long time, and then last year we kind of broke out. So I know exactly how you feel. It sucks going through a rebuild, especially like when you're losing. But I mean, the Nets gonna be all right. They got a lot of draft picks, even from the Knicks. So I mean, they might suck right now, but you never know what's gonna happen in the future.
Yeah, Trojan Langdon, I believe, I think he's GM now in Detroit.
Yeah,
Is I don't know if I don't want to say he got his start, but he used to be Sean Marks's like right hand man when he came to Brooklyn. Sean Marks is the GM of the Nets.
yeah.
So there's actually like a little connection there with the Pistons and the Nets. Langdon was very crucial in the Nets getting to that whole 7-Eleven era because he was very, very important to the drafting and the scouting back a couple years ago for the Nets.
Yeah, I didn't even know that, but that's dope. I didn't know it was like connection like that. I'm not a Nets hater. I'm just gonna say that. I'm more of a Knicks hater. But that's
So am I.
a whole no different conversation. But Yeah, that's dope. I didn't know it was a connection like that. With that being said, what do you feel about, the next edition, the draft picks in there? Danny Wolf, what do you think about, them adding him?
All the draft picks, or just Danny Wolf in particular?
Just Danny Wolf for now. We can go through all of them, but I mean, you can just say Danny Wolf for now.
Danny Wolf, their last draft pick in the first round, power forward, center, good handle, can shoot the three. He kind of reminds, the dream would be getting him to like a Kelly Olynyk type of role.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's made out for that, but he's definitely a special big in that he could handle the ball, he could pass, great IQ. I think he's like 23 years old right now. He's one of the older players in the draft. He was a senior out of Michigan. He's going to need some time to develop, but I think he's going to be a good player. I don't think he's going to be an all-star, but I could see him starting down the line. All these draft picks in general are just so young. They need time to develop.
No, I definitely feel that. It's definitely going to be a development year too, though. I say Danny Wolf because he's one of the players that I remember like going to the draft. A lot of people I've seen was just really hype on. I'm like, why are they so hype on this kid? I didn't know much about him. People thought he's going to get selected higher. So I'm like, what is it about this dude that I don't know?
The skill, the 3-point shooting, the handles, the passing. He could pass better than most bigs. Like right now, he has that talent, and that's what differentiates Danny Wolf. Now, does he need help in rebounding? Does he need help in defense? Does he need time to kind of catch up to the speed of the NBA game? Yes. Right now, he's hurt, so he's not even playing.
Yeah, I was watching that game a little bit yesterday with Charlotte. I was kind of expecting it, but I mean, I didn't know he was hurt either. So it was kind of weird. He's the main one I kind of want to see just because I was hearing so much about him. But I did see number 77 on there. He was balling. I was like, who is this Luca kid? I was thinking it was Luca at first. Number 77 is the only person. Him and Lucas are the only people with that number. Like, who is this dude with this number? But he was out there balling and stuff. But
what, Ben Surratt?
From him. What's that?
Ben Surratt?
Yeah. I didn't know nothing about him, but I was watching the game, and he was looking kind of nice for a rookie, especially starting off.
Pick number 26 out of Israel. This dude is 19 years old, but has the poise of, I don't want to say like a veteran, but he's been playing against grown men for years already.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely more advanced than a couple of the other rookies. And right now he's the starting point guard for the Nets. He had 7 rebounds yesterday as the point guard.
Yeah, that's insane.
His game is very nicely polished, but he does not have a 3-point shot, and that's the knock on him. He can get downhill, big body, can defend, and the Nets love big point guards. So putting him at point guard right now is kind of exactly what the organization wants. Good passer, but I'm going to keep on repeating the same thing, that these guys need some time.
Oh yeah, I definitely know about that. I feel like a lot of fans get impatient, but I'm someone like I'm always practicing, patience because 19-year-old, 20 years old, like come on, if we was at any, that's just normal job. You just come from McDonald's, 19, 20-year-old, you're not gonna know how to do that job right away. So NBA is a much tougher job, flipping burgers. So you gotta have patience with them. But no, I did see actually on your podcast too, talking about him. Is the fact that he played overseas and the fact that he's got to muscle up a little bit, even though he played with physical 30-year-olds. It's still like at the end of the day, he's not developed yet, so he's got to develop.
Who's next?
Let me see what other rookies we can talk about. I gotta look at their rookie list too, though, because
we can talk about Igor Demon, 8th overall pick. Very controversial. A lot of people felt that the Nets reached. He actually has a tear in the bottom of his foot right now, but they're still letting him play. His first game was against the Raptors in preseason, the last preseason game. So yesterday's game against Charlotte was actually his first game. I guess you could say first real game.
Yeah.
And getting some burn. Made a couple threes. I think he's the first Nets rookie ever to make 3 3-pointers in his first game.
Yeah, that right there is crazy too. Though. I mean, that's something to hope for. But
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's definitely a big guy. People say he's a point guard. He played point guard at BYU. I think he's going to be more of a wing who can pass a little bit rather than a point guard. The handles need a lot of work. Sherman Marks has been taking a lot of shit for getting him so early, but we'll see what happens. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I would love to be wrong. I
I
really
hear
would.
that. I feel like what they're doing though, I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it does make sense. They're just getting a whole bunch of picks and seeing like throwing a whole bunch of stuff at the wall and see what sticks. That's pretty much why I look at it from the outside in. If I'm wrong, then you can let me know. But from the outside in, just look like get a bunch of young talent. When someone develops, maybe not be their star player, franchise player, but it can be a good role player, and then later on they can kind of build off that.
They
But
took 5 picks, and I think they said we're going to try to get a point guard out of this group, and we'll see what happens. Maybe they develop, maybe they don't. Like look at just 2 years ago. I think 1/5 or 1/6 of the first round has already been waived by their team
there,
from like I think it's just 2 years ago. We're talking, top 30 picks. The draft is a draft. It's gonna sometimes hit, sometimes you miss. It is what it is. You're not gonna assume that all 5 are gonna be able to make it. And I thought you made actually a very great point. I don't know if you're going to be looking at these guys as all-stars. You hope Demon winds up becoming maybe like a B piece. He could be like the second option. And then this year we suck. You wind up getting a top 3 pick, and you get one of these like golden childs who are going to be, coming out in the league right off the jump, like an AJ DeBanza, and you wind up doing something like that. That would be my ideal situation.
no, I definitely feel that. Well, when you say that, I was kind of thinking about it was another time I was talking about the Trailblazers. Actually, I was talking about them signing their guys, and I kind of look at the same situation. Like, okay, the Trailblazers, a team's rebuilding, no one's really looking at it. I mean, they got a lot of vets. Don't get me wrong, but they just re-signed Shaden Sharp. Signed, I can never pronounce this dude's name right. Teal Tosley. I forgot how to pronounce his name, but number 33 on Portland. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But they re-signed him. None of them people are like, all stars. They all role players. But Portland, they signed the dudes, got them locked in, still rebuilding. Probably this year, next year, whenever they're, the draft hits, they're gonna try to get that. I'll call it Wemby type of player, but it's more so like, just that great franchise player. Even the Spurs too, you can look at them as the same type of way. They signed Vassell, they got the Kenny Johnson, they got Sohan. They locked them all down or about to lock them all down. Then later on, they finally got their Wemby, and then they, later on signed a point guard as De'Aaron Fox. So I kind of see Nets, Portland Trailblazers, East, West, different teams, but I do see kind of same route per se.
I got you.
But other rookies you want to talk about? It's crazy. Y'all really do got like 5 rookies, so it's amazing. But
Drake Powell from North Carolina. He's actually hurt. Also, he got hurt yesterday. 3-and-D type player, NBA ready defense. Shot needs a little work, but I thought he was a good pick. I thought he was a solid pick, but unfortunately, he was coming off an injury going into preseason, so we really didn't get to see him play too much. And then, literally after 2 minutes, he got hurt. So he's going to be out. I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. And the last draft pick is Nolan Traore out of France. He was projected to go, I think, like even in the top 3 early last season. Wound up having troubles with his shot. Got benched on his team in France, I think it was. And Nets wind up taking him at 19. Smaller point guard, plays good defense, good IQ. Another guy that the 3-point shooting needs some work. In France, he started the year very cold, picked it up towards the end of the year, and the Nets really do like him. But right now, he's going to be playing at the end of the bench because Ben Saraf is playing so well.
No, I really saw that. when I was watching last night, I did seem to be injured, but like I said, it's hard to remember all them picks. It's hard to remember, the rookies until I, start watching more games. But it's hard to remember every team's rookies. But that is
Yeah.
unfortunate. They end up getting hurt. But another player who always get hurt all the time, Michael Porter Jr. How you feel about his fit?
I really actually don't like it,
I
but
feel
they
that.
need him. But they need him. And I'm going to tell you why they need him.
Yeah.
They wound up acquiring him this year for Cam Johnson, and I think it's a 2032 Denver first rounder. And the Nets have Cam Thomas, who everybody knows, great scorer and whatnot, but he doesn't have any help on this team, really. So getting Michael Porter Jr. and putting him at power forward really does help with the spacing, helps with the scoring. But what bothers me about him is that, like you saw in Charlotte last night, if he's having an off night shooting, I don't think the rebounding is too strong. The Nets wound up getting killed on the boards yesterday. I think they gave up like 60 points in the paint. They got out rebounded by at least like 15, something like that. Michael Porter Jr. really can't play small forward right now. He can't keep up on defense. He doesn't play a lot of defense even at power forward. So listen, do they need the offense? Yeah, but it's kind of hurting them on defense and rebounding a lot because Nick Claxton, the net center, isn't one of the biggest dudes in the NBA. He's more of like a rim runner and a guy that could cover guards on the perimeter rather than one of these bigger, bulkier guys.
No, I definitely feel that. I feel like Michael Porter Jr. Everybody think he's gonna come there and just be lights out, but like you said, when he's not hitting things, he's not really that effective. And it's crazy too, because you think him being a power forward, he'd better use his speed as an advantage or something like that. But
He don't got no speed.
I
He's
was about to
old.
say, I was about to say that he don't even have the speed or nothing. But he has. I mean, he's 6'10", so you think he'll be able to hold it down a little bit. But
He could get a shot. It's very good for getting a shot off,
yeah,
having the size. I just don't like him at power forward. I would love to see a guy like Noah Clowney, Nets first rounder a couple of years ago, who really kind of came into his own. I think this is his third year. I'd have to check that up. And he's been lights out shooting the ball in the preseason. He's about I think he's 6'10", young guy. They just picked up his contract for another year. I would like to see like a youth movement if we're going to be rebuilding, rather than seeing a Michael Porter Jr. taking his minutes. But that's just me.
no, I definitely feel that. I remember talking last year about Noah Conley. He was breaking out a little bit, either like the year before or so. I thought he was gonna do a little bit. I know he's going some power forward, play kind of big, but no, Mike Porter is probably probably hurting his growth a little bit at this point.
Yeah, Clowney's 21 years old.
Dang, I
And
know
let
he's
me
that
let me
young.
check. This is his third year. Yeah.
See, I thought he was like 24 though. That's crazy. Like he's
No.
actually only 21 still. Did
Yep.
he get drafted when he was like a teenager?
He was a first round pick in 2023, 21st overall, and he was taken at 19 years old.
That's why. I would say it seemed like he's been in the league way longer to be just 21 years old. That's a good thing though. That means he's gonna still developing that thing.
Who's next? Let's go.
You mentioned Cam Johnson or Cam Thompson. We gotta talk about Cam Thompson. So
Cam
how do you
Thomas,
feel
you mean?
about the re-signing, low deal type of thing?
Man, just this past offseason, no teams really had any cap room. It was a historical year to be a free agent because there was no money out. Maybe I shouldn't say historical, but it was more of like a nightmare year. And Cam Thomas was one of the people who got affected by it most. He played 25 games last year. He was injured. And there's been a whole knock on him. Some of it rightfully so, that he's one of the worst defenders in basketball. But boy, could this guy score. He's only 24 years old, putting up 30 points, 20 points. He was the Nets' main option last year, getting double teamed almost every game that he played. And I thought he played really well. And I thought each year you could see his game growing. I don't think management is a big fan of him. I don't know if it's the defense. I don't know what it may be, but they really don't seem like they're a big fan of him. And it's obvious instead of re-signing him to a longer-term deal, Cam Thomas was only taking the qualifying offer. The Nets offered him a 1-year deal with a team option. He didn't want to do that. I think this is Cam Thomas's last year in Brooklyn for sure.
No, I definitely feel that too. And honestly, I think it might be a good thing for him. A player I see him as is, and this might sound like some hate, but honestly, I feel like he'd be a dope 6 man. Like him come off the bench, just putting up that, he can be a 6 man to play like a starter's minutes, but his whole lack of defense, just him being off the bench, I think he'd kill that role. I don't know exactly what team, especially with the contract being so low right now. So they're probably going to trade him on some, on a cheap deal. But I feel like him being on the contender teams, the 6 man being an instant offense, he'd definitely, flourish in that role.
I think you're right. And because he took the qualifying offer, the next team, if he is traded this year, first of all, he does have a no trade clause. So he'll have to approve the trade, 1. And 2, the team that does get him will not have his bird rights. So that means they can't go over the cap to re-sign him. So it might be a rental unless they open up some cap space. And if you do get a Cam Thomas on a playoff team and he does have like one of these magical playoff runs where he's just putting up major points, he's going to get paid. He's going to ask for a lot of money.
No, I definitely feel that. And he definitely won a lot of money. You've seen that all off season. Him going back with people on Twitter and stuff talking about himself, which honestly, I'm one of the people when it comes to players wanting their money, get your money. I'm not going to be someone like this person doesn't deserve that type of money. Even when they're on my team, like, all right, they might be hurting the team, but I put myself in their shoes. They have a livelihood. If someone's going to offer you more money, I mean, why not take it? If I had a job called me up right now and said they're going to give me $1 million, hey, sign the contract. So,
I got you.
I don't fault them for wanting more money. That's the end of the day. They're young, their livelihood, they got a life to live, and ultimately they're putting their body on the line. So it is what it is. But it's unfortunate though. But when he gets sold, he's gonna get a nice little draft pick. So get some draft picks for him. So that also help the Nets' future as well.
We'll see.
Yeah.
What's next? Let's go.
Got to talk about your boy Claxton. Claxton. I don't know what the Nets going to do with him. They re-signed him. I thought they was going to flip him. So, for someone on the outside looking in, what do you think the next move is going to be for Claxton? You said he's undersized. He's not really bulky. What do you think was next move for him? And also, they played him off the bench. So,
he's the starter. He's the starter. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Claxton is he's undersized, right? There's some small forwards who have the same height as him. He had 4 rebounds yesterday, but he had a great offensive night, if that means anything. His long-term future on the team, I think they like him a lot. His contract is descending. Each year it's going down, so it makes it a little easier to trade. But if you look in the NBA, if you're, you look at your team, you probably already have a center already. There's not too many teams that need a center. The biggest noise we heard was coming from the Lakers, and they got Ayton, so they don't even need a center anymore. I think he's going to stay with the Nets. I would be surprised if they traded him this year. Maybe next year. They might drop him off. Maybe. But even then, you'd have to find another center to replace him. His contract isn't too bad.
No, I definitely feel it, especially being a descendant contract. I'm not gonna lie, I was playing 2K before we got on there, and Claxton is always a player I always have on there, just because I don't know, I always like Claxton. Like soon they got him right after Jarrett Allen left. I was like, dang, they got basically the same type of center right back. Defensive minded center who's gonna block a whole bunch of shots.
Jarrett Allen's better.
Yeah, way better. But he's still,
But I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But yeah, Jarrett Allen was my dude. I kind of was sad when they traded him. I'm not gonna lie, but I understood it. But don't get me started on that KD team. I swear, I knew KD, Kyrie, and Harden was not gonna work out. It just was a horrible fit. It was just a dumb trade to me. But I can talk all day about how these super teams get formed and they never come up. They never like, do anything. It's always the same story. Everyone gets
That's
real hype about
old.
them, and
That's
then
old, man. That's been talked about.
yeah. But
What's next? Can you give a hit me?
how do you feel about coach?
Jordy Fernandez. I
Yeah.
think he's a good coach. I think he's a very good coach. He runs the point series offense, which is a part of the Princeton offense, where you have a big man at the elbow. If you can imagine a basketball court, you have a big man at the elbow, and you have a lot of running around in different places, guys setting picks. You'll have maybe like a point guard run up to him. Like, let's say, I'm going to break it down a little easier because I don't want to confuse anybody. You have Nick Claxton holding the ball. His back is to the basket. We have a point guard running towards him, and we're going to see either a dribble handoff or maybe a pick and roll or whatever it may be that you might see. And there's other action going on the other sides of the court. So maybe Michael Porter Jr. might be setting a pick for somebody to do like a back cut. That's very, very basic way of breaking it down,
I
but
feel that.
that's what Jordy runs, and he's a players coach, and he's a stickler, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the few guys in the league who is able to do that. I'm not sure how. Uh, he's all the way from Spain. He wound up coming over under Mike Brown in Cleveland. Uh, he's worked with Jokic in Denver. He's worked with Sabonis. And right now the Nets are looking for their Sabonis and Jokic to kind of run the system. Right now they don't have it. This guy is a meticulous game planner, but he doesn't have the talent right now.
No, I definitely feel that. I want to be surprised they get this bonus while you mention it because the Kings they gonna rebuild. I hate being like this, like a hater, but after you watch basketball for so much, you can see teams where it's gonna be like, all right, they might be here and they're gonna just drop. And I definitely see the Kings, the team that's gonna end up dropping. And I mean, the Nets are a team that got the draft picks. They can easily just, all right, let's make a flip and get this, star player and do some other moves. So, hey, not saying it's gonna happen, but you never know.
You never know, man. It's a crazy league.
Yeah. So you say you've been a Nets fan. I don't think I asked you. How'd you become a Nets fan?
I started off a Yankees fan. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Yankees fan. In New York, the Yankees are on this network. It's called the Yes Network.
Yeah.
Yankees Entertainment and Sports. Big Yankee fan. Mets are our rivals. They play in Queens. Yankees play in the Bronx. The Mets colors are orange and blue. Could you guess why I'm a Nets fan?
No.
The Knicks. Well, what were the Knicks colors?
Yeah.
Orange and blue.
Yeah.
So just off that, and the Nets used to play their game. Well, they still I shouldn't say used to. They still play their games on the Yes Network. So they kind of are like hand in hand on the network. And man, I just spent my childhood rooting for the New Jersey Nets when they were just they had back-to-back finals appearances. They lost, and then it's been downhill ever since. But I don't change my teams. I would go to games after college. I guess I should say I went to college in New York, and I would take the train into New Jersey by myself just to go to a Nets game that might be like an hour or two away. And that's how I spent a lot of my childhood, watching Nets games, traveling. And then they wound up moving to Brooklyn in 2012, and I live 15 minutes away. So it's been a dream come true for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's real dope, man. I've been to Brooklyn just one time, but like when I went out there, it was for an event. So I got to see the city a little bit, but a lot of times I was just out there, training and being that type of vibe. So I still want to go back there, see New York a little bit, but I only been there one time, so I can't tell you much about the city besides, that one time I've been there, but still know some people out there. That's it.
Got you. I got like 15 minutes left. Is there anything you want to throw at me?
We could do some rapid fires. We can talk about some narratives real quick.
Go ahead.
What is the fans' narratives? What's some things you guys are looking forward for in the Nets?
You want my narrative or the fans' narrative? Because that's totally different.
I'll say both, or I'll say yours. You on here, so
Both. I think they're gonna rebuild this year. Like last year, yes, they were rebuilding, but they would have these games where they would just pull off some upsets. Nick Claxton scores a game winner against the 76ers. And of course, the 76ers finished 2 games behind the Nets, and they wind up getting BJ Edgecombe. By those 2 games, the Nets possibly could have went from having pick number 3 to pick number 8. Very, very frustrated, right?
I feel that.
This year, I don't think they're gonna play around. There's 5 rookies on the team, a couple vets, like I said, and I don't know. I just think they're gonna be more focused because they don't have 5 first rounders this year. They only have 1. So if you miss with that one, that's gonna be a huge loss because you went from having all these picks the last 2 years in drafts that were supposed to be so good, and you missed it. You dropped the bag. You fumbled the bag. Do the fans like tanking? No. A lot of people hate it. On Twitter, you'll see half the fan base wants us to tank, which I think is right, and the other half doesn't. They don't want to see the losses. They believe in culture. I believe in culture too, but this is what I tell people. You don't tank to get the best player available. You tank to give yourself the best chance at getting the best player available. Because you can tank, right? And you don't, sometimes it doesn't hit in the lottery. But if you lose and you're the worst team in the NBA, you'll have the best chance at getting the player.
And the thing is, you won't even get the best chance. Like I said, I'm a Pistons fan, so
yeah, of course, that's
we
prime
was even
example.
tanking. We were just losing, and still was getting the fifth pick for like
tough
5 straight years. So tanking do not work. Only thing tanking was working with what 76ers, but then they changed that process with them. So I'm not a fan of tanking at all. Like I feel like personally, like this, like I'm someone who works hard in life, and I feel like if y'all getting all this money, then y'all should work hard too. Like I'm not with the soft stuff. You
I
feel
get
me?
it. But
Like
you got to keep this in mind, all right? The coaches, they have a win-loss record.
yeah,
They don't want to lose. The players, their contracts are based on what their stats say.
yeah,
Do you think they're tanking? No. It's the guys upstairs.
yeah,
They're putting the players in position to lose.
yeah.
And sitting guys at times that would be beneficial for them. Remember 2 years ago we had Kyrie going to Dallas and they missed the playoff. They were gonna miss the playoffs or something like that, and they wound up benching him the last couple of games, and they wound up moving up in the lottery because of that.
Yeah. That's the thing that suck about it too. Like it's none of I hate using this word, but it's none of the smaller people. It's all like you said, the people big upstairs who's probably making billions of dollars. You know what I mean? Way more money than the players. But then the players and coaches still get involved. And fans don't never blame like the organization or the owner. Like
Oh no, they do. Here in Brooklyn, they do.
I feel that. And that's they do.
Heavy.
I
The GM in particular.
You said who in particular?
The GM, Sean Marks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of people, but he's been a GM here for years already.
Oh
So
yeah,
they feel like he's a little bit past his time, and a lot of people want to see a change. There's some people that a lot of people still defend him, and they don't feel like it's his fault that they're playing the way that they're playing, and things got set up the way it did with Kyrie and Harden and KD. But there's just a lot of voices. But overall, everybody wants the team to win. Obviously, people just want to pick different ways on how to get there.
No, I definitely feel that. A lot of chiefs in the kitchen type of thing. So, but I don't want to hold you too long. I'm glad you came on here. I appreciate it so much. So, plug in your stuff. Let everybody know where to have you at.
Gotcha. Thank you, man. Thank you, Devon, for having me on, man. This was fun. You guys can follow me on YouTube, on Twitter, NetFans. Like I just said, I cover a lot of the Nets beat writers. I've talked to former players. My last episode I just dropped was with Tim Capstraw. He does the radio covering the Nets games. He's covered EuroLeague. They've done Olympic Games. Great guy, big NBA analyst. And yeah, thanks for having me on, bro.
No, thank you for coming on too, especially short notice. So appreciate that a
So
lot.
good.
So you guys, that's our show right now. Tune in next time. We'll talk about more, NBA, some more music. And I'm your host, Davon. This is Brandon Rucker Podcast. This is Pete. And peace, you guys.